Carrying over concept and method of the medieval perspective into a plane surface, the Renaissance artists invented the artificial perspective. The result is a painting or draw image which appear to be indistinguishable from the image transmitted by a glass or reflected by a mirror. It's achieved by projecting the three-dimensional scene onto a plane, letting the flight lines converge to a central point, mirroring the unmoving eyes of the viewer. In perspective drawing, Al-Kindi's rays are freed from their material character. Again, the light reconquer somehow the freedom to go without the weight of matter. The beams of light can follow paths not determined by natural law. Traveling in parallel, they could meet in one point and therefore give shape to an ideal representation space. The invention of perspective is attributed to Filippo Brunelleschi. It provides an effective procedure, a technique for transferring the real vision into an artificial space. As we read in the Piero della Francesca Perspettiva Pingenti, he gives the rule for this perspective. He said, first is sight, that is to say the eye. Second is the form of the thing seen. Third is the distance from the eye to the thing seen. Fourth are the lines which leave the boundaries of the object and come to the eye. Fifth is the intersection which comes from between the eye and the thing seen, and on which is intended to record the object. Perspective is not solely a technique of representation. For Leon Battista Alberti, Piero della Francesca, Leonardo, and even more for Dürer, it's both an optical art and a science of painting. It makes painting a science drawn from Euclidean geometry, but it makes optics and art capable of creating a symbolic and imaginary space. It's not an art intended as a pure fiction, independent of the rationale of nature. It's not a science intended as an accurate description of natural necessity. It's, however, costruzione legittima, for it ties the artistic representation with the scientific vision of its author. An art of drawing which binds its freedom of representation to mathematical rules, a science of seeing which asks the artist's eye for the principle of the description. At the boundary between art and science, perspective finds its meaning in making one commensurable to the other. But besides mastering the rules of linear perspective, painters are also required to find appropriate means to substantiate their perspectival view, to create a synthetic system to be fitted in the abstract space. Well, While the geometry of vision projected reality onto the figurative plane, light and colors allowed a new perspectiva pingendi to grow out of that plane. Perspective synthesis of light and color, of form and color, is the expression that Roberto Longhi, is in Italian criticism of art, to illustrate the distinctive fabric of the Venetian painting as well as of Piero della Francesca. Here we have an example of the Piero della Francesca. In mathematical terms, one could say a coherent system where the geometry of light merges with the algebra of colors. Actually, an analogous synthesis might be recognized in Descartes' system of algebraic geometry.